Hi, friends. My name's Katye Riselli. I'm an Air Force wife and the event team lead for Planning Roots, and we are so thrilled you've joined us for our 2 Weeks to Jesus video devotional series. I am thrilled to talk with you today about a subject that I've really been in for the last several days. Our theme today is weary, and I think a lot of us can really relate. For me, I'm 60 days into living out of a suitcase in the middle of a huge move from a place that I know and love to another part of the country that I was not planning to go to ever in my life. And so I am tired. And I think probably like many of you, I was really tired before we ever started. But the idea that it's August and I started preparing to pack up my household goods in May, and I'm still living out of the same dozen outfits that I started with on the 1st of June, um, I'm really tired. So today, I'm going to share with you a passage from John 4 that has really spoken to me and really helped me sort of walk through what to do with my weariness. Recently, someone asked me whether or not I wanted to talk to a group of people about PCSing, and I said, no, I have nothing to say. I have nothing nice to say. Nice Katie went to storage with my household goods, and I haven't seen her in a while. And so that was really just like a reflection of the state of my heart. And I think we can all relate to that. In John 4, one of the things that jumped off the page recently, it was a story I knew where Jesus talks with the Samaritan woman at the well. But in verse 6, and it says, "And Jesus, tired as he was from the journey, sat down by the well." And I highlighted that as I went through. I was like, he was tired too. You know, he was fully God and fully man, and he got tired. And so as I was reading, I saw you see this interaction between the Samaritan woman and Jesus, and he asks her to draw water from the well, and she comes back with like why she can't, and she's focused on why he can't. He doesn't have anything to draw water with. And she's like, but who are you even talking? You're talking to me? And then really, as I looked at that, I was like, she's coming up with her human limitations, like why she can't do anymore. And I have to say that is also really how I feel lately. It's I don't have a home. I don't have my stuff. I don't have friends. I don't have community. I can't go to church. These are all the reasons that I feel weary and I don't know how to get um, better. I don't know how to make it better. And then Jesus responds and he says, if you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink. And I just stopped and went, look, that's Jesus's response to us. If we knew the gift of God, and it made me think, oh, I know Jesus, but how many of us who are weary maybe don't? We knew of Jesus, we've heard of Jesus, we've talked about him, we've gone to church, but I forget sometimes that some of us don't know Jesus, or we've forgotten to remember that we do. And so, do I believe Jesus? Do I realize the gift of God that I have? And do I remember that He gives living water? Sometimes our weariness is because we don't know, but sometimes it's because we've just forgotten to remember. And so we need to remind ourselves what we know and what we believe so that we can live out of that instead of what we're looking at. For me, it's real easy to get caught up on how I feel or what I see, what I hear, or even that what I'm doing is what I believe. But at the end of the day, it's what we know to be true and what I believe that fuels my faith. So Jesus says, if you knew. And then he says, this water that she's come to the well for, will leave her thirsty. And I thought, man, sometimes my weariness is because I've been drinking the wrong water. I haven't been drinking the living water. I've been drinking my plan, my expectations, my timelines. I really thought that by this day in August, I would be in my new house, in a certain state, and I'm not in my house, and I'm not going to be in that state. I'm going to be somewhere else. And so where I've realized that I've been really tired and really exhausted, it's because I was banking on my plans, my experience, my strength, or even my, what I'm used to. I mean, I've moved more than a dozen times. In 40 years, I've moved over 40. In my 41 years, moved 17 times. And so I know how to do this, surely. But that's not water that's going to sustain me. And Jesus says, everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become a spring of water welling up into eternal life. And I thought, man, I need that. I need the water, not my plans or my expectations, but I need something that's going to continue and that's going to spring up even when I'm tired and weary. And so I know this. Jesus says, if you know, yes, I know him. And if I ask for the right water and if I seek that out, and the woman says, give me that, give me your water so that she's not thirsty and so that she doesn't have to keep coming back to this well. And I think that's really where you and I are sometimes, if we're really honest. When in our weariness, we're tired. We're tired of doing it. I told somebody recently, I just want permission to quit. I don't want to do these hard things anymore, because we are just tired of going back to those wells and having to do it over and over again. But Jesus says we don't need to do that. We don't need to keep trying to keep up or getting on a treadmill or filling up our buckets with water that's not going to last. We need to stop running to dry wells. And really, if we're honest, those dry wells are when we keep coming back to our strength, my strength, when I want to do it my way, or because I've done it before, I think I can do it again. Even in the things that are familiar, but especially in the things that are different. I have got to run back to Jesus for his strength, for his truth, for his faith, what he's going to give me. On top of that, what I love from this passage is that after she speaks with Jesus, she leaves and she goes to tell people in her village. She says, come and see. I just met this man. What do you think? And here's the thing. When we get living water, we run to tell about it. And so there's two things I want to ask you today. One, if you're weary, who are you telling? Have you told someone that you're tired? What are you saying? Listen to what you're telling your friends and family. Listen to what you're saying without realizing it. I sent a text to my girlfriend that just said, I am so tired of not having a home. And she said, yes, but he's your home. And so what I learned from that is that when I tell people that I'm tired, I want to be telling people who are going to tell me truth, and also people who are going to encourage me. I sent another note to another girlfriend, and she sent me a note back. She's like, I've been praying for you, and I feel like it's time for you to keep a gratitude journal. Start thanking God for what you have and realize the energy that you will draw from that, because he's giving you what you need to go on for the next day. So when we tell someone how we are weary, he's going to come and meet us there. We should be telling Jesus in prayer too, friends. Who have you been telling? The other question is we have this spring of water. And Jesus says that it's an eternal spring. And here's the thing. When you pour out, it comes back. So when you're telling friends that you're tired, or when you're pouring out your energy into others, realize that God is going to pour it right back into you. We're giving away what we receive, and we will receive more. This is not a mindset of scarcity, it's abundance, and that's what we're called to. So I want to encourage you, if you're feeling weary today, how can you fill up your bucket with living water on a daily basis? Are you in the Word? Are you listening to truth, or are you focused on your feelings? One of the things practically that we do as a family is we turn on worship music, or even just Christian music, and we turn it really loud and we say it over and over again, because I know that's true and not what I feel or not what I think I see or what I've been hearing. So I want to encourage you to find a way to fill up your heart and your families in this time when you're weary. Take your bucket to Jesus. Ask him to fill you with the living water that will spring up daily and even hourly as you make it through these next 2 weeks and even into this next year. Thanks for joining us. Let me pray for you. Lord, I pray for each woman who is here today. Lord, I thank you for this resource to meet together via video. Father, I pray that you would fill each of us with your living water so that we will not be thirsty. Lord, that we would be filled to abundance, to overflow. And Lord, that we would not be afraid of feeling weary. because we know that you are our sustenance, Lord, that we know that you fill us and that you bring us back to you when we are willing to come with our hands and say, just fill us up.